Do you sometimes you've been ended up in a forest fire and you don't know what you're doing there, why all the fire is there, and why the hell are you there? If you are, you're not alone. So am I. So I'm not. What can we do about it? Well, first thing first, let's assess the situation, like a true firefighter would do. We should assess which fires can we actually extinguish, which ones are actually objectively even fires, and which ones are just illusions of fires or illusions of problem or disasters. And then we should fix those that we can fix, not tackle the ones that we cannot fix. Try to postpone them, try to mitigate them, try to delegate them, but do something. Don't fight fires that you cannot handle. Fight fires you can handle. How do you do that? Well, first you need to define which ones are actually within your reach with capacities and skills. You can of course go outside, you can of course grasp for a bigger problem, but don't go ahead so much that you will be burned too much, that you will be miserable because you failed. Try 20% more than you can capable so you can grow, but don't go for 200% as you try to reach for the right goals. We like to say try to reach for the smart goals, like specific goals, measurable goals, achievable goals, relevant goals, and time-bound goals. So what does that mean? That means that get to the goals that you can actually make an effort and make an action and provide positive outcome. Fighting fires like in true life firefighters, or fighting fires that are imaginary, in workplace where problems arise or emails come that stressful clients demand something from us, depletes our resources. They lower our energy, they high our stress level, and they do all kinds of stuff to our body and to our mental energy. So we should conserve it, we should tackle it, and we should mitigate its existence. So how do you do that? First, you need to organize. Try to organize as much as possible on the way that you will feel better. You will mostly feel better if you can tackle the small problems, the small fires, so you can get them out of your way, and you will feel like positively engaged because you have achieved some great. Try not to tackle a goal that's too long term, because that one demands a lot of effort over time. And that doesn't mean you should forget about it. It just means you need to be split more goals, more mini goals, and try to be, prepared that some fires are not fires at all. Like, is it really necessary to act, and does it have a positive output? Why do I even care? Why do I want to act on something that doesn't care? When I decide to have sushi or pizza for lunch, it's completely irrelevant. Pick one and be gone for it. Because decision fatigue is a real thing, like I explained in another video. Decision fatigue drains our resources just by making stupid decisions that don't provide you with the upside, don't provide you closer to your long-term goals. Decision fatigue is real. It depletes your resources. It doesn't bring you forward to your goals, but it does deplete your resources. Make sure that you don't dwell on decisions that can be changed, that are not necessary or in terms of long-term goals, or are completely irrelevant. No, decision fatigue is real. Every decision costs you some kind of energy and resources. If you have to make meaningless decisions, put them as quick as possible. Sometimes there are fires and damages and problems that we cannot change, and we have to have the courage and persistence to accept that we cannot change something, that we can perhaps mitigate it, that we can perhaps lessen the effect, that we cannot change. In those times, it's very important not to waste our time and resources, but to try to change something if we know it cannot be changed. Use that resources for something good. Use that resources to put out real fires that can be action. Don't waste your resources on stuff you cannot change. Sometimes when things cannot be changed, it's necessary to do drastic decisions. If your workplace is very toxic and you cannot seem to have a solution to change that, then perhaps it's time for a new job, even if it's a very difficult decision. Either you will suffer, or your mental health will suffer, or your parent or your family will suffer. In each way, you will have to find a decision that will put you out of that place. So sometimes the best decision is, a short-term, mid-term decision just to get out of the way and let the fire be burned by itself. I had been put in such a decision myself. It was hard, but I decided that I don't want to be part of that toxic environment. So what I did, I went on annual leave, and I just handed my notice in my post, and I just said, I don't want to work there. They actually didn't want to accept my resignation because they liked me there, although I was miserable every day. They made me really miserable, objectively speaking, every day. They were being me every day, but they didn't want to let. In the end, they didn't have a choice. others. What could they do? They pay me for not being there. They could do that, or they could try to, they tried to summon me and say, they even said, you should come in, you should come to work, or we'll fire you. And I said, like, well, what are you talking about? I resigned already. And it just made me realize at that precise moment they were completely ignorant of the fact what they were doing to me and how they made a toxic environment, but they were not capable to see that nobody in their right mind would stay there. If you are stuck in that kind of decision, I know it's hard. It's sometimes good to talk to somebody. If you feel like it, you can drop a comment down below this video. I'll try to make a reply, or somebody else will reply. Godspeed. I know it's sometimes life throws at you a curveball and you need to make a very different decision, but you are able to do that. You are a winner of all these situations that life threw at you, and you will handle this one too. So be positive and tackle those fires. And if you know you cannot tackle the fire, find alternatives. That's it for me. Bye.